Hi, and welcome to the Property Talk Show, part of Virtual Property Expo 2020, organized by Mogul.sg and supported by Vivid 3 Productions. I'm Michelle Martin, your host. A warm welcome. These sessions with me are designed to give you access to property insights and allow you to hear about the buying opportunities from the developers themselves. Now, remember to get your Expo pass at mogul.sg. Today, we're going to explore properties in the Philippines and what's been touted as the Las Vegas of Asia. We're also going to learn about opportunities in a luxury district in Manila. And today, we're going to talk about mortgages and how you can save through structured financing. But first, we start right here at home. It's time to meet my first guest today, and he's going to help us get up close to 6 shops at a mega condo, Sims Avenue, Sims Urban Oasis. Karamjit Singh is CEO of Show Suite. He's been on my show several times. Hi, Karamjit. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you for having me.
We are going to tour 6 shops at mega condo Sims Urban Oasis. I am so excited. Can you share with us a little bit more about the shops that are available for sale? What can you tell us?
Sure, absolutely. So first off, it's not very easy to come by shops that are tradable and shops that are set amidst a large catchment, residential catchment. So I think that's the thing that attracted us when we as consultants were approached by Guacolan. So these are 6 shops that are built within a condominium, and you use the right word, it's a mega scale condominium, 1,000 over units in Sims Urban Oasis. It's a project that's been sold out 3 years ago. It's so everyone has moved in. And it's very ripe for an investor to come in and then lease it out, or a trader to apply their trade from these shops. One of the key things is the huge residential catchment, not only within the development at Sims Urban Oasis, but also just the next door plot of land is being redeveloped into another 500 to 600 unit development. Alongside that is a huge HDB catchment comprising about 6,000 over households.
Wow, so it's a catchment area that's likely to grow with upcoming development. I wonder if you can provide us with a little bit more information on the location. Not everybody might be aware of the Sims Avenue or the Sims area.
Sure. So, I think most people tend to be very familiar around landmarks. And of course, MRT stations are those landmarks that people are familiar with. So the closest MRT station is the Elginate MRT station, which is about 450 meters. So it's within walk distance. The development is flanked by both Elginate Road as well as Sims Drive. It's got 2 entrances, the main entrance as well as a side gate. And what's unique about this is the shops are split up into clusters. So clusters of 4, that's right at the doorstep of the main entrance, the vehicular entrance to the development. It's on the main road, so it's got that prominence. At the same time, another cluster of 2 shops at the back entrance, which has a direct facing towards Elginate Road, as well as the bus stop.
So lots of potential access points. But when it comes to the shops themselves, what sort of trades would be suitable for a location there?
Sure. So because of the zoning, it's commercial zone, effectively an investor or a tenant could do almost anything. So that could be clinics, it could be schools, it could be any form of convenience services supporting the residents. But one of these new trends that we believe would end up doing very well here is playing into this whole new phenomena where we've got most people still working from home. So if you need to work from home, and let's recognize that Singapore, like many other countries, our home sizes are not the biggest. somewhat like Hong Kong and Japan or so. So at some point of time, when you're working from home, you do need some work-life separation. So what we believe would work very well would be a hybrid concept comprising perhaps a cafe as well as a co-working space. And there's a very interesting case in point here, where in the Ginza area of Tokyo, Starbucks themselves have come up with this kind of hybrid concept. And it seems to be doing well. And I suppose from a Singapore context point of view, it doesn't necessarily need to be an international brand. It could be very well a local brand, but merged with a co working concept, which effectively means that someone who's been cooked up at home all this while would hopefully find some solace and come down, get a coffee fix, hide away in a cabin with privacy booths or workstations for them to take video calls, have meetings, collaborate with colleagues, and then get work done, and then off they go back home.
That's an interesting idea. In this age of social distancing, when we talk about co-working space, a lot would depend on the size of the unit. So can you give us an idea of the range of the sizes available, Karamjit?
So there are six shops, and they generally range from 300 to 600 square feet each. And as mentioned again, and collectively that cluster of four works out to about 1700 square feet in strata area, whereas the cluster of two works out to about 1200 square feet, which is a reasonably good size that provides some degree of critical mass for an operation of what I just spoke about.
All right. So are these contiguous units? I mean, can the clusters be merged? Say I bought all six. Would I be able to combine the adjoining units?
Yes, you could. So four of them could be combined into one, and the other two in the other second cluster could be combined into another one.
Terrific. And are they available? Are these shops already vacant, Karamjit? Can I move in immediately?
You absolutely could, Michelle. And so the it's right for an occupation and introduction of this new concept. Aside from the availability immediately, I think what is useful to point out is these strata investment units do not attract additional buyer stamp duties, which is peculiar to residential zone properties or so. So in a way, it's free from ABSD. The stamp duties are hence much lower. And the good news is that foreigners also could invest in these kind of properties and basically leveraging off the whole large residential catchment here.
All right. I forgot to ask the key question. Is this a 99-year lease or how long is the lease for?
It's absolutely it's 99 years. So I think that's the predominant tenure for residential condominium developments. So it's 99-year lease.
And big question on everybody's minds, the money question. How much are these shops asking for? And are there any incentive schemes or maybe bulk discounts that you can share with us?
Yeah, we all love bulk discounts.
Oh, yes.
So the good news is that Guaculayan has come up with a very interesting and attractive proposition. Generally, if an investor were to buy them individually, then generally the values tend to range closer towards $3,000 per square foot. But at the moment, they're running a promotion where if they were to buy them in clusters, it can amount to about 2,300, 2,400 per square foot. So in absolute terms, that's ranging just under 3 million for the small cluster of two and just under 4 million for the cluster of four. So quite attractively priced. And with that, I'm quite sure the investors should be able to earn a return on investment that's much more accretive compared to borrowing
That's
costs.
fantastic. Well, he's Karamjit Singh, CEO of Show Suite. In case you just joined us, this is the Property Show, and we've been learning about opportunities to buy 6 shops at Mega Condominium Sims Urban Oasis. Karamjit, before we let you go, we have still about 5 minutes on the clock. Tell us a little bit about your expectations for the area that these shops are located in, the wider area. I mean, is it up and coming? Have you looked at the master map? What can we expect?
Very good question. So here's the thing. What's important from a residential catchment and popularity point of view is how well connected it is to public transport, how close it is to perhaps business premises locations like the CBD or so, and then what else is coming around that area. One of the big stories very close by, one MRT station away, is this whole new cluster of commercial buildings around the Paya Lebar MRT interchange. So that's one MRT stop away. And that has brought about a huge amount of commercial activity, not just office, but also retail. So that's a source of hiring and employment. But at the same time, Alginet is actually just 5 to 6 stops away to the CBD, and that's very, very useful. And with that, as long as the residential catchment is popular, it's well occupied, and it's doing well from a valuation point of view, then naturally you do need the commercial component to serve them well and to supplement lifestyles. Lifestyles constantly change, so which is why concepts like these would come in very handy at this point of time. So there's a lot of things going for it. And aside from the popularity, I think the popularity also manifested itself
Mhm.
just about 2, 3 weeks ago, when the adjoining development did brilliantly well, having sold 60% of that large development in just one day.
In a pandemic, no less. Just incredible, right? So, people are going to
Incredible,
want to
indeed.
be able to catch up with you, Karamjit. I know you have a booth here at our virtual property expo. What else will they be able to find out at the booth?
So yeah, I suppose the best thing to do is get connected, let us know, and my colleagues and I will be very happy to fill them in with more information and run through the value proposition, and what is it that they need to consider before making such an investment, and to make this investment very carefully.
Oh, personalized connection and advice. Just terrific. Thank you, Karamjit, for your time. For buyers, if you're interested in the shops, remember to visit Karamjit and his team at their booths. You can check out the live chat or inquiry features to connect. Karamjit, great speaking with you. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, welcome to the Property Talk Show. I'm Michelle Martin. This is the space designed to give you all sorts of insights into property buying. Where are the investment opportunities? Speak with the developers directly. We're so excited to bring you our next session because, I am always talking about how you can make your money work for you. And next up, we are going to learn how we can save on our property loans through structured financing. Doesn't that sound great? I want to learn how to do that. He's been on my show many, many times. And I tell you, every time he comes on, we get so many inquiries, people calling, they want his expertise because they know that when it comes to mortgages, he is the mortgage master. You're going to meet in just a short while the CEO of Mortgage Master. So he's been on my show several times. I can't wait to speak with him. He's going to talk about how we can save through structured financing. I know a lot of people now are thinking, it's low interest rates. I want to know how to make the most of my mortgages. Should I buy a property now because it's a low interest rate environment? What should I do? You should listen on because he is the man to speak with. David Bay, CEO of Mortgage Master, is going to come on really shortly. In the meantime, welcome to the virtual property expo in Singapore, the first of its kind, the first ever. Really excited to be here with you.
I'll just count down to 1 again, and then you guys can start talking. So
Okay,
ready?
awesome.
3, 2, 1.
Next up, we are going to learn how we can save on our mortgages, save on our property loans through structured financing. It's one of my favorite topics, and we're going to talk to one of my favorite guys on the issue. He's David Bay, CEO of Mortgage Master. Hi, David. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm all right. Hi, Michelle Martin. Good to see you again.
Great to see you as always. Okay, I want to take a step back for people who are not familiar with Mortgage Master, David. Can you help us understand how Mortgage Master can help all of us?
Okay, so when a person is looking to get a financing, a mortgage for his property, typically this person will have to look, if they want to look at all the 16 banks available, and it takes 45 minutes per bank, you would actually spend perhaps around 12 hours in total. And each individual banker from the bank will, of course, say that my bank has the best rates. So you won't really know who has the best rates. Of course, that's where a Mortgage Master comes in, and every customer will get a personalized consultation where we will choose and explain the interest rate packages to you, mainly because the lowest rate may not be the rate for you. There's risk involved. There's your view of the future of the market, as well as whether you need to pay down the loan faster and stuff like that. So we will then be able to match your risk level and your wants to the interest rate package available out there.
All right. So there are many mortgage brokers out there, David. What sets you apart from the crowd?
Okay, so all mortgage brokers will definitely be a one-stop shop for all rates available. And anyone that's pretty decent will actually guide you through the pros and cons for you to make that informed decision. What really sets us apart is probably, I would say, our values. So we always put the customer first, and we are honest. We don't just want to make this commission or this referral fee from the banks by closing your case. What's interesting is that if you look at our reviews on Google and Facebook, a good 1/3 of these hundreds of reviews are actually about how we told them we don't want your business. We will teach you how to do it the right way and save money, because it's not practical for you to let us earn money, whereas it's so much of a hassle to save that minute amount. I don't need to earn the money if it's too much hassle for you. I'll teach you what to do instead.
That is fantastic. That is absolutely wonderful to hear. So you're dedicated, you're a man on a mission to help people save money, clearly, right? So many people here at this property expo are looking for their dream home. So what advice do you have for brand new property buyers, David?
Okay, so when you look to buy a property, a lot of clients that we receive actually make I would say, the mistake or take the risk of buying the property even before they get their financing done. So what's the most important is to, of course, check your financials before you look to buy the property. When you put a 1% down payment, or for a new development, a 5% down payment, you run the risk of losing it if in the end you can't get the loan and you have to forfeit this down payment, right? So most importantly is to get what we call an approval in principle before you even pay the deposit, to guarantee that there's a bank out there who's willing to lend you this money. Interest rates are time sensitive. You can look into that after you secure the property. And after that, then buy. So the three questions that any mortgage consultant, whether it's from the bank or a mortgage broker like Mortgage Master, would ask you is, firstly, can you get the loan? Number two, even if you can get a loan, do you have the monies to pay the down payment? Because I may get a promotion and earn a lot of money today. My loan eligibility is very high, but I don't have the 400,000 to buy a $2 million property, right? And lastly, of course, the monthly installments. Well, you can earn 10,000 a month, but if you're a car lover and you drive a Mercedes, maybe the installments may not allow the cash flow for the mortgage, right? So the three questions are loan eligibility, down payment, and whether the monthly installments are within your cash flow.
Okay, say I get an approval in principle, but I
Yeah.
change my mind and I don't want to buy the property. I'm not going to incur any penalties, right?
Yes, no penalties at all. So approvals and principles are a free service that all the banks will do for you. Of course, that being said, because it's a free service, the bankers assisting will not be the most enthusiastic, right? It's not a confirmed closed case for them. So using Mortgage Master, again, we will then recommend you the bankers we trust that are willing to, of course, go the extra mile, even though they are not guaranteed that commission as well.
Fantastic. So you will basically walk us through getting that approval in principle?
Yes, we will do everything that's needed, collect the documents, assist in, like, even if if you're looking to buy a property 1 year down the road because you know that you are getting a promotion or you're getting married next year or another kid coming out, doing the financing should always come before buying the property.
Yeah, absolutely. So even if I'm thinking I want to sell my house, I want to buy another house, I don't know what the sums are involved, David, can
Yes.
one come to you?
Yes,
Mortgage
please,
master?
because you know, if you're going to upgrade or even
Yeah.
downgrade, because
Yeah.
it's a recession, right? You may need the monies coming from the selling of your first property to buy the second property. And that's where the timeline and the flow of how the money's, when it comes back to you to pay the next property matters a lot. So from doing things like jargon words like a bridging loan or stuff like that, how the banks can help you cover the monies before you buy the new property before the monies come back in. All these things can and will be done. That's actually a bit basic. That's still the basic portion. The harder portion would be on like to avoid additional buyer stamp duties and to increase your loan to value. So that's where it gets more complicated.
Yeah, okay. I like complicated. As in, let's get into the complication, but let's banish all the jargon from the property talk show. But help us, okay? So let's say I'm looking to buy my second home. How should I structure my property loan so I can get the best possible outcome?
Okay, so for example, let's assume most of the buyers right here will be couples, husband and
Okay.
wife.
Mhm.
So based on family dynamics, I'm sure some of them will, if they want to save the 7% ABSD, which is a lot, that's 70,000 for $1 million property or 140,000 for $2 million property.
Wow.
If they want to save that money and they have the ability to do so, the husband can sell his portion of the first property to the wife, making him his no property under his name. And then he can go to buy the new property as an investment and save $140,000, which is very significant. To do the first transaction, it costs less than $10,000 and it saves you $140,000. Yeah, so it's an easy mathematics. Even if it's a $1 million property, spending 10 to save 70 makes sense. Yeah.
Wow.
And the next one would be, let's say, family dynamics wise, my wife doesn't want to take her name out of the property because she wants, yeah. But you see, if you have a loan in one property, the next government regulation will be your second property, you only can borrow up to 55%. Meaning that if I want to buy $1 million property today, instead of having the normal down payment of just $250,000, I now have to save $450,000, which then, brick and mortar is probably a good investment vehicle because it's safer. So a house is a safe asset. It delays my wealth accumulation from a property investment because I need to save another $200,000 more dollars. But if you can we can help you structure your first loan to have two owners, but only one of you are a borrower. So you have the other party has no loan on the first property, and then the other party can get a full 75% loan on the second property.
But as a wife, I'd still have my name on the property?
Yes. So both are owners for both, but one each is a borrower for each of them. Yeah.
That's brilliant. This is why we call you the mortgage master. I love
Thank
those
you.
tips. Now, very often when people think of saving money, they think about repricing or refinancing. So let's just focus on refinancing.
Okay.
How much can people save if they do that?
Okay, so let's put it in context of today's market. About 2 to 3 years ago, if you take an interest rate, an interest rate package would be around 2.25 to 2.5% today. If you took a loan 2 or 3 years ago, so I would say half of the Singaporeans or the homeowners right now actually don't even know that refinancing exists, which is the saddest thing because they should know it will be a free process. And if you bother to go through this and maybe like 1 hour of paperwork, you get to save a significant amount. So for $1 million property, if your loan is 2% today, and I can get you 1.25%, which is available in the market right now, you get to save 7,500 a year. And that is, your monthly installments should be around 4,000. So that's almost 2 months of installments.
Wow.
And it's a whole free process to do it. And if you have, like, say, majority of Singaporeans, of course, stay in HDB, so the loan amount is smaller, say 300,000 a year, that's still 2,250 you get to save. And that's also another 1.5 months of installments. So why waste money when you can save it in just, if I'm telling you an hour to save 7,000, I'm sure people are willing to go through that hassle to get this money saved. Yeah.
7,500 for an hour. Come on, that can go into your kitchen renovation. That's great. Incredible. And it's not that difficult to do with the help, of course, of professionals like your team at Mortgage Master. What should people look out for before refinancing? There's a lot of banks out there, a lot of promotional discounts or, freebies, shopping vouchers that get thrown at you. What should I be looking out for before I refinance?
Firstly, ignore all the vouchers because those are gimmicks, and look at mainly the interest rate packages as well as the clauses in them. So a very vanilla package should be a fixed rate or a floating rate, which then has risk involved for a period of lock-in for a lock-in period of 2 to 3 years, which means that if you take the interest rate, you are stuck with that bank and that package for 3 years and you can't move. So if you're going to stuck for 3 years, maybe if you're of higher risk level appetite, you may want to take a floating rate that's slightly lower today. But if not, then take a fixed rate because it may be, I'm conservative, so I probably would take a fixed rate, right?
Even with the Federal Reserve, looking to keep interest rates lower for longer?
Well, you see, a fixed rate is 1.25, a floating rate is 1.1, 0.15%. I can swing it, it doesn't break my bank. It's, let's say, $1 million loan, that's like $80 more a month. I for the peace of mind, I'm willing to pay $80 a month. I mean, in context, that's for if I own $1 million property with a loan of $1 million, $80 is small. And then, of course, for a $300,000 loan, again, 0.15% is $40, $30 more a month. Again, I can afford $30 a month. So it really depends on it really depends on each person's what they want, and that's where our job is to provide all this information so they make the informed choice.
All right. Any final tips on what homeowners who are watching us now, what should they be asking their mortgage consultants? What can they ask of them?
Okay, so firstly, mention the lock-in period. One of the main things would be get clauses in that normally banks are willing to give, but not willing to give if you don't ask. So for example, the ability to pay down your loan during the lock-in period. So we call that partial or prepayments. So if you're let's say anticipating a huge bonus coming in at the end of the year, and you want to actually, we are agents, we want to pay off our loans and we don't want to owe money, right? So you want to pay down your loan faster and get one with this clause in it. And if, we would then advise that this bank can give you the clause, so we will ask for it for you, even though you didn't know it existed. Another thing would be, people like to say, I'm going to stay in this house forever. Well, I also thought I was going to stay in my house forever, but 4 years down the road, my wife tells me, maybe it's time to move. So you're not sure of the future, but why don't we add the clause in, the waiver of penalty due to a sale? So if you change banks, the current bank will be unhappy and charge you a penalty. But if I need to sell my house, the penalty will be waived off. So this clause again should and can be added in as long as we teach you that it exists, because the banks may not tell you it exists to start with.
These are all brilliant tips, David. I'm going to sell my house and then I'm going to come talk to you before I sell my house. See, I've learned something from my own show.
Thank you.
Thank you as always, David, for your time. Remember to visit David Bay and his team from Mortgage Master at their booth. Connect with them through the live chat or inquiry features. Thanks, David.
It is actually the biggest real estate developer right now in the Philippines and one of the largest in Southeast Asia by market capitalization. Aside property, the company also invested in market-leading businesses like the retail and banking. Aside Philippines, SM expands in China, and its seventh mall in Tianjin actually is the largest shopping mall in the world. They're also successful in their maiden residential project in China, which sold out in just less than a week. And
wow.
Yes. And as for Bloomberg report last year, October, SM is the first property developer in the Philippines to breach 1 trillion peso in market capitalization.
Those are big numbers, really big, staggering, in
Yes.
fact. Wow. All right. I wonder if you can the investors, they're watching and they want to know, ooh, where are the investment opportunities? So maybe tell us about the developments that SMDC has undertaken in the property sector of the Philippines.
Well, Michelle, SMDC plays a vital role in Philippine real estate sector. SM holds the most established companies in various industries that is known globally, like a Japanese clothing brand, Uniqlo.
Uh-huh.
It's already in the Philippines. Coming soon is IKEA. They will be opening by next year, and it's going to be the largest IKEA store in the world. We also have the Conrad Hotel, and the prime example of a large-scale mixed-use lifestyle city is the Mall of Asia complex.
Oh, yeah, okay. We need to
Over,
find out more about this Mall of
yes,
Asia. So this is in the coastal districts. Tell us more.
yeah. In just only as broken ground 49 projects,
Mhm.
and we already sold turnover to 60,000 happy clients, both local and international. There's a lot of exciting activities in the area of Mall of Asia. There, you can see there are some of the properties that is already turned over to the happy clients.
Really,
Mall of
that.
Asia. Oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us about Mall of Asia.
Yeah, actually, Mall of Asia is also known as the entertainment capital of the Philippines. Like what you said, it is the Las Vegas of Asia. You can actually visit of course, the first is the SM Mall, the biggest mall in Asia. We have the convention centers and trade halls, both for local and international events. We do have this iconic MOA Arena. It is a popular concert venue, both for local and international. And Lady Gaga is the first international artist to perform in the MOA Arena. And aside from that, innovative office buildings wherein SM anchors it to international America and a lot more. So it is the Las Vegas of Asia, as I've mentioned. Yeah, this is the casinos and hotels within the area.
Tremendous. Next time I'm visiting Philippines, I'm going to make sure Mall of Asia is on my itinerary for sure. I wonder if you can tell us about the sale res. I understand that that's a very unique concept, sale res.
Yeah, sale residences
Mm.
actually. In the residential block of Mall of Asia, we have 7 residential projects, and one of them is sale residences.
Ah.
Actually, SMDC always makes sure that each development has unique identity and answers the needs of every client. For
Mm.
sale residences, the design takes inspiration from international seaside resorts and luxurious waterfront homes. So the concept is maritime lifestyle. All the architecture design come together to give you a unique feeling of relaxation that only the ocean can.
Beautiful. Absolutely stunning
Yes.
pictures there. I mean, for those of us who live on an island, we love that, those vistas and the
Yeah.
idea of relaxing by the sea. All right. Tell us what foreign buyers can expect
You know,
should they
you
want to buy a
don't,
property in sale residences. What can foreign buyers expect?
well, well, when you buy a chest, you will surely get a premium located in the Bay City that is living in a world-class destination, wherein the Bay City is the 21st century lifestyle and business district that is known for offering one of the have 365 days of shopping and enjoy the 365 days of spectacular sunset.
Oh, just fantastic. What is the guarantee in terms of finishing? People are always wondering, what can I expect in terms of finishing and delivery of a project undertaken by SMDC?
Well, as I mentioned, SMDC is the biggest developer in the Philippines and one of the largest in Southeast Asia. It means the company is very liquid and has the ready funds to continue and deliver all its developments amidst this ongoing pandemic. In fact, there are still 3 to 4 projects that we're going to launch before the end of this year.
Hmm, that's exciting. You can't give us heads up into those projects?
Oh yeah, definitely I will. I will
Oh,
inform.
that's great.
And
That's
I would
great.
like to invite you also to come over to Philippines to see the difference the time you went there.
I am there. I am coming with my webcam so that all of us watching the Property Talk Show can come as well. What a joy to connect with you. Thank you so much. Before we let you go, tell us a little bit more about the area surrounding some of the developments in SMDC. So perhaps our buyers can get a sense of, what are the areas that I'm buying into? I mean, we talked about it being the Las Vegas of Asia, the Manila Bay Area. Can you maybe take us to it so we can understand it? What does it look like? What does it feel like?
Uh-huh. The photos that I'm showing you actually are the projects already in the area of Mall of Asia. We do have the residential plaque and the office plaque in the area. There are luxury hotels and
Mm,
casinos within the area. If you need a residential place to stay, I'm inviting you to come and experience all the uniques of every projects that are being developed in the area. Actually, we have a lot more coming in the area of Mall of Asia.
yeah, it looks amazing. It looks like a really
More
vibrant area.
luxury,
Yeah.
more residential developments.
Wow.
Yes, and it is very accessible to the interport. In just 5-10 minutes, you're
Ah,
there.
that's very important too for international buyers. Yeah, that's a great point. Well, thank you so much, Rosalinda. Remember to visit
Yeah.
Rosalinda and her team at their booth. Check out the live chat or inquiry features to connect. I've been speaking with Rosalinda S. Tabios, International Associate Sales Director at SM Development Corporation or SMDC. Linda, very nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
All right, next up on the Property Talk Show, we're going to continue with all the action pack, as much insights as we can. Hey, remember to get your Expo pass at mogul.sg. Next up, what are the opportunities to own property in Manila's most luxurious district? We're going to find out now. It's time to meet a woman who's got a beautiful name, Miss Gita Sen's Resurrection. She's the Deputy Secretary for Federal Land. Miss Gita, welcome to the Property Talk Show.
Hello, Michelle. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to start with quite a somber question, but I think investors will want to know, how has the pandemic affected the real estate market over in the Philippines?
Well, COVID-19 has certainly slowed down economies worldwide, and the Philippines is no exception. In fact, our country holds the record for having been under the longest quarantine in the world for almost 7 months now. Can you believe that?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we were under enhanced community quarantine for the first 2.5 months, where everything was on lockdown. Hotels, restaurants, airlines, offices, public transportation, everything was shut down. And naturally, it affected us as well. And it led to a slower take up in the residential market. For us in federal land, we even actively stopped selling in order to be more sensitive to the situation. So there were no online ads, no print ads. Our social media posts were limited to uh, tips on how people could eat healthier, reminding the public to stay safe, things like that. Fortunately, the lockdown rules were relaxed a little bit in June and a little bit more in August. So, as the economy has been gradually recovering, so too have our sales, which have been increasing exponentially every month. So, above all this, the Central Bank of the Philippines Residential Real Estate Price Index reported that the high demand for luxury projects helped push up property prices in the second quarter, even during the pandemic. So, the economy is waking up. We're doing much better.
That's great. It's wonderful to hear. So, in terms of the time to invest, a timeline, why do you think that right now is the best time to invest in the real estate market in the Philippines?
Well, the Philippine economy has remained stable. The Philippines is ranked number seven, in fact, of the top countries to invest in, according to a New York-based news site, the Business Insider. I'm sure you know it. They
Hmm, yeah.
also named us, yes, as the tech hub of Asia because of its popularity as a business hub for international IT, e-commerce, logistics, and business process outsourcing companies. About our GDP, we've been very stable at 6% to 6.5% for the past 5 years, which only dropped a little bit because of the pandemic, but it's projected to bounce back in 2020 to 7.8%, according to the Bangko Sentral of the Philippines. So the current situation is very difficult, yes, but there are still opportunities amid the crisis. The Philippine real estate market has remained resilient even with a crisis. Yes, demand has softened somewhat, especially in the first few months, but we see this decline as an excellent buying opportunity for investors. Why? Number one, it's easier to buy property right now. Prices are better, payment terms are much more flexible, interest rates are lower. So investors who purchase during the quarantine will undoubtedly have better returns once the economy recovers. So, I'd like to invite, especially, the young Singaporeans out there who have saved up a lot during the pandemic since they cannot be traveling and eating out too much. If you've saved up a little bit, why don't you come check out the Seasons Residences? We have very friendly payment terms. For example, for a one-bedroom unit,
Hmm.
for a monthly amortization of 1,470 Singapore dollars, you can already purchase a one-bedroom unit. So that's not bad, right?
That's
And
great. What is the size
very
of this one
affordable.
bedroom unit? I'm about to pack my bags. So, what is the
Come
size for
on
this?
over. I'll come talk to you later, Michelle. So really, the luxury market
Yeah.
has remained unaffected virtually during the first quarter of 2020, and so this segment of the market continues to appreciate
Hmm.
even during the pandemic.
Hmm.
Last year, for example, 97% of the total floated units in the market were absorbed by the market. So once the economy stabilizes, it's easy to see that the market will bounce back easily, and the current low interest rates will benefit those who will invest now. We enjoy also a high credit rating from top foreign investor service organizations such as S&P, which has rated us BBB plus. Fitch gives us a similar positive rating of BBB, and Moody's gave us a credit rating of Baa2, which means that we're only at moderate credit risk and we have a strong ability to repay short-term obligations. So Moody's also says that real estate is one of the sectors with low exposure to the pandemic's effects.
Yeah, investors are
So
always looking for that growth story and growth opportunities, but they're also looking for
yes,
maybe differentiation. So, what separates Federal Land Inc. projects from other projects in the Philippines?
well, Federal Land is one of the Philippines' pioneer real estate developers
Mhm.
and one of the largest in the country. It's been around for over 48 years. And its diverse portfolio includes large scale developments such as master plan communities, office skyscrapers, residential condominiums, lifestyle malls, and luxury hotels. One of our flagship projects is where our company headquarters is located, the GT Tower International. It's an iconic office tower in the Makati Central Business District. We also have the Metro Park, 36-hectare master planned community in the Bay Area in Pasay City. We're also known for raising property development standards through our partnership with trusted names in the international scene. Among them, we have the partnership with the Oryx Group of Japan and the Hyatt Hotels of Chicago for the Grand Hyatt Manila Hotel. It's a five-star luxury hotel. I'm sure everybody knows the
Oh,
Grand
yes.
Hyatt brand. Yes. And it's currently the tallest skyscraper in the Philippines, located in Bonifacio Global City, just as our project, the Seasons Residence, is. We've also partnered with a luxury hotel chain, Marco Polo Hotels, for the Polo Plaza Hotel in Cebu, and the Marco Polo Residences, the first branded residences in Cebu City. So a lot of other partnerships with renowned architectural firms such as Tangay Associates for our Grand Midori Ortigas and the Ortigas Central Business District. And we have one of the most distinctive projects coming up soon with our world-renowned architectural firm, Foster and Partners, the Estate Makati, which will be along Ayala Avenue's exclusive condominium row in the Makati Central Business District. And
Gosh.
lastly, of course, the Seasons
Yes.
Residences and Mitsukoshi Mall. What I'm here for today, we're developing this in partnership with leading Japanese firms,
Mhm.
Mura Real Estate Development, and Isetan Mitsukoshi Holdings Inc., also in Bonifacio Global City.
So you have to tell me more about the season residences. I understand it's in a thriving community. You mentioned the Bonifacio Global City. Can you give us
Yes.
an idea of the season's residences and how it complements this community?
Well, Bonifacio Global City is the fastest rising and most exciting central business district in Manila right now. It's less than 20 years old, but it's now a sprawling cosmopolitan district of retail and lifestyle destinations, corporate headquarters, prime residences, and expansive open spaces and parks. Now, the Seasons Residences stands north of Bonifacio Global City, located in federal lands integrated community, the Grand Central Park. The Grand Central Park follows the vision of a diverse New York City where you can live, work, and shop all in one place. It's a master planned township anchored by the Grand Hyatt Manila, along with the Grand Hyatt Residences, and of course the Seasons Residences and other exclusive condominiums. And soon the Grand Central Park will also offer office towers and shopping centers. And the Seasons Residences stands out as a unique development, and we believe that it will breathe new life to the Bonifacio Global City with its Japanese design and technology. We will also be hosting the first Mitsukoshi Mall in the Philippines in its podium level with its signature Depa Chica or basement level supermarket and food hall. I'm sure you know this
We
iconic,
love it here in
place of the
Singapore.
Isetan Mall.
Yes, yes, it's like a
Every time I
maze
go
in a
to
warren
Japan,
of
that's
activity.
yeah, that's where I go to buy all my presents to take home to family. And
Yes.
yeah, so it will have all the beloved Japanese brands
Oh
and
my
international
gosh.
brands. And of course, all of this with omotenashi. Omotenashi, the Japanese trademark of service from the heart.
Oh, it's beautiful. Living in mini
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah, oh, fantastic. And the design, the architecture, is it futuristic? Can you share a little bit more about it?
Yes, really, the Seasons Residences is a seamless fusion of Japanese innovations and the Filipino sense of community. And there are several excellent reasons why our investors should choose the Seasons Residences. First of all is the location. I already talked about the location earlier, but that's the most important, and
Yes.
that's what people look for most
Yeah.
when they want to invest in a property. Second is because it's developed by three firms that have a long and distinguished history. That's federal land, Nomura Real Estate Development, and Isetan Mitsukoshi Holdings. And third is that the Japanese is known for their technology. And the Seasons residences have a lot of innovative features to offer its residences. Uh, one of which is the safety factor, which is very important. The towers are equipped with a sophisticated damper system to protect residents during earthquakes. So, the Japanese have got this technology down pat already, being in the
Wow.
earthquake belt. So we've taken advantage of the advances in this technology. Now, the bathrooms have a sunken slab technology or below floor drainage system. So it's easier to maintain your pipes and you don't have to bother your neighbor above or get bothered by the neighbor below you. Also, if you have problems in your pipes. The bathrooms have Japanese shower toilets. So I you know,
Those are
Filipinos
great.
love it when they go to
Oh,
Japan and they have all these pallets everywhere they go. So we're going to have that in all our units also. So it will elevate the bathroom experience.
once you've tried a Japanese toilet, you will never turn back.
I know you'll never look back, right? And we have, the traditional features of Japanese bathrooms, like having a wet area
Ah,
where, the tub and the shower are separate from the rest of the bathroom facilities to keep everything clean and neat. We also have unique storage solutions. We have storage in the kitchen floor. You lift a panel on the floor and you have extra storage there for your cupboard items.
oh, for more
Floor to
shoes.
ceiling.
More
Yeah,
shoes,
well, no.
Gita.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll talk about the shoes later. We have another section for the shoes. So, we have floor to ceiling bedroom closets. And yes, the shoe cabinet, we have a shoe cabinet in the foyer even, so that when you come in, you don't have to bring your shoes, track your dirty shoes all over the house. And
Beautiful.
what else?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the kitchen, we have space saving technology also. Even your sink is space saving. We have built in cutting and draining boards there. We have, really advanced range hoods to filter out all the unpleasant odors and oil from the air. Your kitchen tiles will even be air washing. So it will do the cleaning for you by eliminating the excess moisture and odors in the air. So finally, we have the Denkan Foyer, which is a traditional Japanese entryway area. So I was talking a little bit a little bit earlier about leaving your shoes over there. So especially now in the time of COVID, you really want to disinfect yourself before you enter the sanctity of your home, so you can leave your outerwear there, your shoes. You'll have access to a utility area where you can wash up. So yeah, like I said, it's really owning a piece of Japan. And
Yeah,
to
it
top it
is.
all off, you have the Mitsukoshi Mall right at the podium level of your building. How can you
Music
top
to
that?
my ears, music to my ears. And I think if you appreciate the Japanese sensibility, which is attention to detail, that makes
Yeah,
life so much easier and just makes life better. Anybody who's been to Japan in a Japanese hotel that's been thought through, everything is where it should be in arm's length. So it sounds like this sensibility runs through the season's residences as well.
you're right. And you'll notice that it's the little details that
Yeah.
count, and they're the ones that make the difference, right, Michelle?
Absolutely. When you live, you're going to put your money down somewhere or you want to invest in something. You want to make sure the person in that complex is going to feel really taken care of. And it sounds like this is what the Seasons Residences is set up to do. Well, absolute joy speaking with you, Geeta. I cannot wait to meet you in person one day. Remember to visit Geeta and her team at their booth. You can check out the live chat or inquiry features to connect with Geeta directly. What a great session we've had. Remember to get your Expo pass, by the way, at www.mogul.sg. Geeta, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It was a pleasure being here, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, terrific insights there. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready to pack my bags and head on down to the Philippines.
Come
This is
on
the
over.
Thank you. I will be there. This is the Property Talk Show, and what a great time we've had. Now, remember the Wider Expo Expo, the virtual expo. We've got so much planned for you. Tour facilities, you can tour neighborhoods through immersive maps. You can view properties across Singapore, the Philippines you just heard about, the US, UK, Cambodia. We've got some great door gifts that include promo codes for special prices. I know a lot of you love Japanese whiskey, so we've got that planned out for you. I'm Michelle Martin, and hey, don't forget to join me tomorrow for more property talk in a fireside chat right here at the Property Talk Show at 10 a.m. I'll see you then.